And what made you start that? Like, were people hitting you up and you just kind of felt like, I need to help
No,
them?
I had an eviction notice on my door.
What's up, world? Welcome back to the Tuned In Tony podcast. I've got my girl Christianna Hurt in the building. Big names. She does a great job at staying all over the internet. I've been seeing you for years, you know what I'm saying? So when you hit me up, I was like, oh, dope. You know what I'm saying? This would be a great show. And you're an Ecom, and you just got a whole bunch of businesses. I would call you serial entrepreneur. I saw like the fours when you look up your name. You just got a lot going on. So I'm super excited to have you on the show and just to hear your story, what you got going on, and just so you can educate the people. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Dope. So what are you working on right now? Like, what's your thing?
So I'm actually pivoting my children's clothing brand to a multivitamin.
Multivitamin. Dope. Okay. So before we get there, most people know you for a wealthy college kid, right? Mm-hmm. And what exactly is Wealthy College Kid for the people watching who need to be educated on that?
So Wealthy College Kid is an e-commerce education platform that teaches people how to sell online.
Dope. Okay. So beginners who are trying to just get started, trying to figure everything out.
Literally just the newbie that's trying to make ends meet. It's kind of like an enroll to earn type of platform. So you're able to take the information and actually use it in real time to make money.
That's dope. And what made you start that? Like, were people hitting you up and you just kind of felt like, I need to help them?
No, I had an eviction notice on my door.
You had an eviction notice on your door. Wow.
Yeah.
How old were you at this?
21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that time, what's going through your mind? Because like most people see you for who we see you for social media. She's killing it. So they're like, Christianna had an eviction? You know what I'm saying? So like, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was like my dad told me not to move out type of experience.
I see what she's saying.
Yeah, like I had no business moving out, but I moved out for a boy. I moved out for my relationship at the time. So
yeah.
You know, I was young and dumb.
Like every
other girl. But, you know, I tell people all the time that was my villain origin story, you know, like a photo my character just had to develop in the dark.
I got you. And were you even an entrepreneur at this point?
No.
Okay. So you moved out, chasing love, you know what I mean? But, you know, sometimes, you know, situations put us in a season which develop, you know, better. Like they say, pressure turns into diamonds. So this eviction, you had to figure something out, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So I started selling other people's products and then began kind of selling in e-commerce. I started off with a fishing pole pen and then makeup. And then I kind of found like my heart in the baby niche, and I've been in the baby niche ever since.
Got you. And so that fishing pole pen being your first thing, right? Obviously, you're not a fisher, right?
Nah.
So like, how long did that last?
Like 30, 60 days before I pivoted to makeup. Just because I saw my friend was selling the makeup and she was like, you should try this. And I was like, all right. I ain't got nothing to lose. So I was just throwing stuff at the wall. And, you know, I threw $5,000 into Facebook advertising back in 2016. You know, that was like, you threw something, it stuck.
Yeah.
So, you know, I did like 89 grand in like 11 days and then 256 grand in like 2.5 months. And I always tell people my first 6 figures was luck. I always tell people like God had his hand on me because when I was facing eviction, I was in a toxic relationship with a man that was like 5 years older than me. That was making, you know, like considered your high value man of making like probably 500, 700 grand a year. And here I am just broke as shit.
Got you.
Just the girlfriend that decided to talk back because, you know, like he wasn't paying the bills. He wasn't taking care of me. So, you know, I always tell people again, like that was my villain origin story. So I started selling the makeup, went viral with it by just hard, cold ads. And then that was enough to show me like, all right, like, I can do this.
I see what you're saying. And what's good about that, what I want to talk on too, is a lot of times when we're going through change, right? People are always like, oh, you're doing too much. You're trying all these things. But even if it's not the thing that you land on, throwing things at the wall to see what sticks usually gets you there. So I like that you said that. And then to pivot that question, a lot of people who I see in the digital space, they're like stuck on one form of ecom, a lot of it being closed, right? Which we talked about. And I feel like what's missing so many times is they're not talking about brand building, right? And I feel like building a clothing brand is super difficult. You have to get the clothes, source the clothes, make people like them. But I think so many people miss out on just like that the drop shipping and just finding products that you can sell that provide solutions for other people. You see what I'm saying?
Because again, it's a culture thing.
Yeah.
I sell clothes, so I can't even talk. And I've been a part of multi-million-dollar clothing brands with women's clothing as well. And the biggest thing is just like the margins
they're not
keeping the lights on the way that you would think. Like, it's super dope. It's something, like you stand in a warehouse or the pictures with all the orders on the floor,
sitting on 100 boxes.
Like, it's super cool the first time, but like when you trying to like go get $2-3 million homes with revenue numbers, it just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So coming from a place of like, I'm doing 6 figures in real time with children's clothing. And in 2018, I did about $500,000 in 2 months with children's clothing. But just coming from a place of like, I'd be looking at it like, this is cute. It is super cute. But this ain't going to pay my bills.
Yeah, because I was just about to say, like, usually kids' clothes are super affordable, right?
Oh, no, I'm selling $90 sets.
Oh, you got the luxury type. Okay.
Yeah, and it says in the bio, luxury streetwear. But I actually I didn't even market it as a luxury clothing brand. I marketed it as a community. So being a part of Just Kidding Kids, your child is modeling, your child is, because I don't have kids. So that means everything of Just Kidding Kids is built on its customers.
Right.
So we market it as like, your child can be a model. We hype up, we pay kids to send in content. And out of those kids, we pay for content. We select them for the shoots for the next clothing drop. And we give them big ass PR boxes. We hype it up to be like, your kid is going to be selected. And, we're paying for ads. Your kid is getting hella exposure. So, we just market it as like a community and a platform that your child will get, more familiar with taking pictures and taking content and kind of just getting that, because it's under 5. I only go to 5T.
Yeah.
So it just kind of gets, weeds out the weak of the people that are like, oh, you can pay me for content, and their 2-year-old does not want to take pictures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it weeds out the weak by, requiring them to purchase to even qualify. And then from there, let's say, I actually can give you real numbers. Out of 300 orders, we only had 15 kids send photos.
Oh, wow.
And we're paying them. Remember, from the jump, it's like, hey, as long as you purchase the first order, and then you email us a consent form, and then reach out to us once you have photos, just reach out to us. And, life happens. It's a toddler. It's a baby.
Right.
So you're thinking, like, I'm getting pictures of kids with dirty clothes.
I see what you're saying.
And you got to understand, like, if I tell you, hey, that's not going to work, you have to wash the clothes, get your kid back ready, do their hair, get them dressed up, hope they're in a good mood to... It weeds it all the way down. So, like, the kids I'm getting, like, are great kids, but you got to think that was out of 300 orders.
Yeah.
So it's creating massive revenue, massive great profit margins, as well as giving me great content. But with that, I'm building it as a community. I'm not building it as a luxury clothing brand. I'm building it as, this is a community where parents, the Instagram doesn't show the clothes. You should pull up the Instagram. Like, it doesn't show clothes. It shows tips. Okay. It shows how to handle your toddler when they're having a tantrum.
So it's not like they're just decked out in fly clothes and everything.
It's a tip. It's shareable content. That's what's working right now. It's not, nobody cares about another cute kid or following for that. They're following the page because this is a place where you can get advice and tips and just things about parenting under the age of 5. So I just market it as a community. So when I pivot to a multivitamin,
gotcha. I see what you're saying.
It's right there.
So let's just talk about, like, just your creative mind and like because I was thinking when you're talking about the baby clothes, it's like, well, you're pulling an emotional string, right? It's like, oh, my baby to look amazing. This is to be cute. So you can sell for that high ticket price as far as for clothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
People don't buy for that.
They don't.
Babies grow so quickly.
Yeah.
You have to understand that Just Kidding Kids is a brand built off of my miscarriage.
Got you.
So you're buying into my pain, my trauma of losing a child and knowing that I do not have a child.
Got you.
People that buy into the brand are fully aware that the owner does not have children. So you're buying into the fact that I lost my son. And you want to help that. It's a sympathy card.
Got
you. People feel bad, and they should. It was horrible.
Yeah.
But 1 in 3 women suffer from miscarriages. It's a very normal thing. But for somebody who hasn't had a child yet, people resonate. People want to help. People want to be a part of that, and people understand those emotions and those feelings that I was feeling in that time. So this, I tell people all the time, it was built on loss, but it's being built into love, like created at a loss built on love. Yeah. So that brand message, the fact that it is a true story, and then it's a community with tips and tricks of parents, it creates that cult-like following to pivot into a consumable product.
Got you. Yeah, one of the best ways to build a brand is like we go through traumatic experiences, but being able to pull from an experience that we had because it helps drive the design, the story. And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of brands, and you've probably seen it, a lot of starter brands miss. It's like, what's the story behind here, right? Like I can buy, I can buy a t-shirt, I could buy whatever you're selling from anywhere else. But the majority of times when we buy stuff, like even Starbucks, there's an emotional tie to going to Starbucks versus when you go to Dunkin', you know what I'm saying? And I like Dunkin', but there's a difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know for sure.
So what's your design process for just designing the clothes though? Since you don't have kids, like how do you come up with that style and everything?
You mean like the actual designs on the clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I have a designer.
Okay.
I pull out things like I like space.
Yeah.
I like animals. I like fruits, and they just pull from there. I
Got
don't really
you.
have like.
No, okay.
I don't even stress myself out with that. To be honest with you, I focus on people buying into me, so that no matter what I'm selling, they follow me. I don't really base it so much of the product. I build it on what is my ideal customer that I'm always going to look for. And my ideal customer for Just Kidding Kids is a parent for under the age of 5.
Gotcha.
So resonated with the problems that you face with a toddler, the solutions that are offered. And there's a gap in the market, obviously, for under 5.
Gotcha.
Especially in the vitamin space. That's what's so funny about it.
Yeah, definitely. So what I want to talk about as well, just for new people who are into e-commerce, right? You said several key things that I see a lot of new entrepreneurs make mistakes with, right? One, you're talking about, just clothing being cultural, you know what I'm saying, being tied to that. 2, what you've seen with MySpace and shipping, you see what I'm saying? And then also how you've been able to find like your avatar for your brand. So where did you knowing not to make those mistakes come from, or did they come from experience? Because I feel like a lot of people make all those mistakes and they keep making those mistakes.
I don't know. Like, yeah, I think it just comes from wanting like that social circle, everybody always says like you are who you hang around, your network is your net worth. So I just create social circles in that, my personal Instagram looks horrible. It gives me anxiety.
For real?
Yes. I just hate it. But
so you don't like your content?
No, it looks so messy. It's just ugly. I hate my Instagram. But my brand pages, they're so curated. Yeah. Like we change the profile pictures to every holiday. Every month is a new color, a new theme. And we're able to kind of like build and grow. You know what I mean? Like people stay, people don't fall off. The engagement is very, very high. Because again, we're changing with the things that are happening. We change with the holidays. We change with the seasons. Gotcha. We change with everything. So we are able to follow and kind of like, again, build that friendship with me through the internet. And that's really how I built myself up and how I had my big break is I got on Facebook Lives. Facebook Lives used to go crazy viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't see them back in the day.
Man, I didn't. Not the Facebook Lives, but I know people are missing out.
My Facebook videos, it used to just say exactly what it said. Like, after my boyfriend cheated on me and I got evicted, look what happened. And that's all it said. And then you had to watch the video to rest. And then it was like how she made $1.2 million after her boyfriend got her evicted. Like it was just plain, like people just want to know like me.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask, because I got 2 points. I want to talk about the relationship, but before we get there, so you said you don't like your content, right? But I want to say, how do you think that you stay so in front of people? Because like before I knew you a few weeks ago, I knew you. You see what I'm saying? Like I always saw your ads. I saw you talk about candles. I saw you just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think that is?
Moment of silence for the candles.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for the candles. They were too heavy to ship. Dub.
It didn't work out.
Glass. It was profitable, but glass breaks and it's like £1. It was like too expensive. Gotcha. It wasn't profitable to what I was gonna look for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was profitable for the person that is looking for $1 to make $1.50. But I'm one of those $3 type of gals, so it wasn't worth it. But how I stay in front of people is just being myself.
Yeah, like, I see what you're saying. But were you always like on lives and just standing?
Camera? Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because you've had times where it's just like, like even my camera got back there. He was like, "Oh, that's the girl that went viral." You see what I'm saying? So it's like people are knew you.
It's funny because even before like the virality of just 2022, because I feel like it was like every month you were seeing me somewhere. Yeah. I feel like 2022, I really stayed on your phone. Even my birthday went viral. Like everybody knew my birthday and everybody knew about the pool. It was crazy. So, but before that, like I just feel like I'm just very good on camera. That is my strong side. I'm very well spoken. And I'm okay with talking to myself.
Yeah,
so
I see what you're saying.
Talk on live all day, whether I had 3 viewers or 300 now. I just was saying, it's crazy because people that know me that saw the podcast were like, would say in the comments, like, this girl been like this since she was like 12, 15. Like, this girl's always been like this. You guys are she's just now getting a platform. Like, I'll never forget one of my homeboys that know me probably since I started type shit or before that. He was like, all this girl needed was a podcast.
A camera and a podcast. Sent me
because he was right. Because like I've been saying I wouldn't date broke men. Like I ain't never did it. So I did it like once and I lasted like 2 months.
What was your like upbringing like? Like you're from Orlando. Are you from Orlando?
Born and raised 407.
Okay. Yeah. What's the entrepreneur scene like in Orlando? I feel like a lot of the
everybody does taxes. Everybody owns a tax office or everybody does taxes.
I feel like some of the real big dogs in digital live there though. Like your you know, like your Tanner Chis and all them.
No, they live in Miami.
They live in Miami, yeah.
Yeah,
so
they're
it's Florida though.
It's because we don't have state tax.
Gotcha.
So we don't pay state tax. It's so crazy. We don't pay state tax on school supplies, food, pet supplies, babies, baby strollers, any of that. We don't pay no tax.
Yeah, I saw you post like Governor DeSantis, and you're like, I love Florida.
I love Florida.
But y'all always on Shade Room for some
because
crazy.
We're bad, but you have to understand, like, we're a state that is like, we have stand your ground.
Yeah.
You can carry a gun. You don't pay taxes. We get tolls taken away. We get hurricane money when you know you're fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we get so many things. Like, it's crazy because my relationship, he's from Brooklyn. He's from New York. And he's always like, oh, like, we should live in LA. And I was like, who fun to live in LA?
Yeah.
Well, what state tax?
Right.
I was like, and you want to go to jail for 20 years for a gun?
Yeah.
No.
I see what she's saying.
Like, I love the freedom and the options that I have in my state. You know, a lot of people, until you live there, you may not realize that, but there's a reason everybody's living there.
Right. You're not trying to move anytime soon.
I'll visit everywhere, but as far as like my primary, it just makes sense for me economically and my family. And, you know. Where's
your boyfriend live?
He is in LA and in Brooklyn. So he bounces back and forth for work because he's obviously a rapper. But we're definitely moving towards the South Florida living.
Got you. So how's your travel like, just managing that? Like, are you kind of in all these places?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live at the airport. I have a plane tattooed on me. Like,
for real?
I mean, my dad buys and sells private jets, but like, I really do live at the
What
airport.
is that like? Because that's a different occupation. Just growing up. Because you said he's been doing that for a while, right?
Yeah, he went to the Air Force.
Okay. And then like, is it just kind of like brokering them? Is it just,
no, so he does the refurbishing them. So I always try to explain it. Like, remember Pimp My Ride?
Yep.
They get for like planes, but like, you know how rappers smoke on airplanes?
Yeah.
You know how much it costs to get smoke out of a jet?
Probably a lot.
Like 2-3 million. Like on a set of them type thing is like.
Dang.
So like my dad, like, you know, like during the pandemic, obviously, you know, his income was really, really affected by it. But I was able to carry us at the level I grew up at. You know, a lot of people brag about, oh, I helped my mom and dad, but mom and dad grew up on Section 8. You know what I mean? It's a different, you can do it. You know what I mean? Making 6 figures, even 7 to take somebody who's on Section 8 and take care of them. Yeah. I always try to explain to people, it's really, especially as a female, you got to think like, that's not even in me.
Right.
Like to be doing. And it's so funny because I always tell people the difference is like, if a man had done it and helped his family, his family doesn't pay him back. My dad paid me back.
Dang. Well, that's good.
I'm his daughter. Yeah. You know, it's
baby girl.
You know what I mean? Like,
do you have brothers and sisters?
I'm the oldest of 4, but you know, like I grew up on private jets. I went on vacation on private jets. I never sat anywhere but courtside. Like,
I see what you're saying.
That was like, you could
being, you
that's
know,
normal.
like being like the oldest of 4. Do you think that's where you're like you helping out? Because just listening to your stories more so on YouTube, I've heard all the situations about like you not dating broke men, but then you dating men and having to kind of carry the weight. But then even for you to step up and you said during the pandemic, help out your parents, even though they paid you back. Is that where that comes from?
I only dated one broke man in my whole career.
Whole career, okay.
Whole career.
Whole career.
And it lasted 8.5 weeks. And, to this day, honestly, maybe I should take this time to publicly apologize.
Yeah.
I took all his stuff out my house, put it in storage, left the key outside, took his name off my gate, and then I left and lived in Bali, Indonesia for 3.5 months.
What was that like?
Amazing. He was homeless, though.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
He went homeless. He actually wrote me like probably a year ago, like, I was homeless because of you. And I was like, it builds character.
You know what I'm saying?
He was older than me.
So you just jumped and went to Bali.
Yeah, he was broke and I felt like stressed out, and his brokenness was really like,
ugh.
And it was crazy because, like, looking back, of course, like, the guy has reached out to me and we're cool. There's no bad blood, but he always would be like, like, you could have helped me and built me up. And I had, now being older, like, I had to really say, number one, you caught me after I lost my son. So I don't think mentally I was even there, bro. Like, I couldn't even tell you, like, you had no business talking to me because I was a bomb. Yeah. And number two, like, I was like, when you take a step back and you look at the men I dated before you and the men after you, all of them made money. I was always taken care of, even from being where I grew up to the men that I dated when I moved out. Like, I always dated a man that did for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was never, ever nothing, regardless of what I was doing. If I helped, like, I got it back and then some. I got interest. Yeah. So, like, and it just, for me, like, I can't respect somebody. Like, for me, I know a lot of people like, oh, that's so bad. I can't. Like, it's just not, I was literally, you got to think, I literally grew up where my dad paid all the bills and my mom baked cookies. Yeah. Like, so in my head, like, I cook and I clean. I made money because I had to. Yeah. I always tell people, like, if my eviction had have happened and there was a door number 2 of another rich man I could have started dating. Yeah. You really don't think I wouldn't have started dating him? Like, you really, let's keep it 100. Yeah. You don't think after my eviction, if there was another rich man for me to date that was a couple years older than me, 5 years, whatever the hell, and he was like, oh, like, let's go out. You don't think I would have just moved in with him?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't think I would have chose that door? You think I just woke up and was like, oh, I'm going to be a girl boss. No, I had to. Yeah. I had to. It was like, I was so betrayed and upset and hurt. And I always tell people, women scorn is crazy. Yeah. Like, that was my villain origin story. I woke up and I chose violence. Yeah. I chose violence. I made videos, I ran ads, I did everything, and every single tagline was like, he cheated on her and now she made $1 million. Yeah. He left her.
You were just pulling from that pain.
Pulling it. Yeah. And I said it I was going live probably 3-4 times a day. It was like, this man could not escape me.
Did you see like your engagement jump?
Oh yeah. It started to grow. I started to be on Shade Room. Then like, it's still then like, like I would hear through the grapevine, like he was like, oh, I still make more money than her. She's still not doing this. And then 2020 hit. Yeah. The $1 million months came. Shade Room came. It was like, and then I started changing the cars and traveling. Right. Jewelry came. And then 2022 came and the virality. Yeah. Now it's like, what can you say? Like, right. And I still keep the story, the 100. I moved out for you. Like, you should have left me at my daddy's house, but you didn't. Cool. And I always tell people, like, you see a lot of men leave the women they started with because those women are like, putting you down the whole way. And I always try to tell people, like, that man treated me really, really bad on my way up. So of course, when I got up, I was like, I looked up her and I was that modern day woman. I'm like, I don't need you. I'm out of here. And it took years to break that, you know what I'm saying? Like to get to a place where I could date a man that made a certain level of income and relax, because there was so much defense of like, oh, I'm not doing this. No, and for a while I was dating aggressively of like, you're not gonna, and I just had to start going on first dates of like, look, bro, I want to travel. I want you to pay majority of the bills, and what do you want for dinner? Got you. Like, and
then with you dating men, so like looking at you, people see like, oh, she's a high value woman, right? So you
too much mouth,
right? So talks a lot, all this, but she's successful. So when you're looking for a man, does he have to be? Of course, he has to be a certain caliber, right? But this other guy you said was like 600-700, 1,000 a year. Is that still the aim, or is it just to have a life where you're taken care of?
So I try to explain to people this. It's so funny. So you know what the income requirement is to like qualify for $1 million home? It's not $1 million.
Yeah, it's more than that.
No, it's not. You can get $1 million loan on like 3. You don't have to make.
I see what you're saying, because it's over 30 years.
Yeah, it's over 30 years. Or let's say to go get me a G-Wagon. Yeah. You don't have to make $1 million to get me that G-Wagon.
Yeah.
You don't have to make $1 million to pay a mortgage on $1 million home.
Right.
Now, of course, if you're looking for private jets, and I'm not. I grew up on that. I understand the cost of it. I understand that, we can charter. Like, it's not a big deal to charter 15, 20K. Like, that's a conversation I've had with my boyfriend now. Like, because of my miscarriage, we have to go to like a certain doctor in LA. And I've made it very clear, like, we're not flying commercial with a newborn with my family. Are you on drugs?
Yeah.
We got to get a PJ from LA back to Florida. That's
right.
just the norm. You know what I mean? That's a conversation that was had in the beginning. So it's not like that's a planned expense. It's not like it's popping up. It's like, hey, when I get pregnant, we have to have funds allocated for a jet home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see
So
what you're
that's
saying.
not, you don't have to make $1 million to do that. You know what I mean? Those are things. I just think people forget that the cost of a mortgage and a car payment, it's not $1 million. It's just, you have to just qualify for that monthly overhead. I know what my monthly overhead is, and my monthly overhead can be covered by a $300,000-$400,000 income.
Got you. So
which is still a high income.
Yeah. So you feel like all this press when they're like, she won't date a man over 100K, and it's like they're more like blowing it up, and you're just trying to be normal.
I'm
you're just
trying
like
to live the same exact. If my cost, you got to think, if my cost of living is, let's just say $5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
A $30,000 man can't pay that.
Got you.
But guess what? The 300, 400, 500K man can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have a lifestyle that is matching my income. Maybe I will eventually, but I grew up here. I don't feel like it's changing. You know what I'm saying?
I see what
like,
you're saying.
A house probably between 1 and 3 million at best. Like, okay, we get a car. It was, again, you put a down payment or you buy it cash because you plan it out. Like, travel. Like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Cost of living isn't that.
Right. So with all this, what you're saying too, like, and we'll switch soon, but when you're just talking about like in your past podcasts and episodes, like you're like, yo, I want to be a wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do what I'm supposed to do. How does that mix with your entrepreneurial spirit? Since it seems like you're like jump, and you're doing well in your jumps. Like, when that time of wife comes, do you pull back on entrepreneurial, or do you just keep scaling up?
What am I pulling back on? What am I doing? Like, really just think, what do you think I'm doing every day?
Yeah, I guess what it looks like from the outside. It's like, it looks like,
I think people picture me like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah, but what they see, they're like the Forbes 30, was it 30 and 30 or
30
something?
And 30,
and then they're like,
next 1,000. But again, like, okay, we'll even just put my schedule out right now. I get up, I go to the gym, I cook. Yeah. I'm doing that already. Do laundry, doing that already. Like, I go live Monday through Friday. I don't go live on weekends. I have a webinar on Wednesdays.
So you
don't think that I can't manage a clean home and driving to school at 8 a.m.? Like,
I see what you're saying. So it's just Christianna is just the cool girl, but people have a different vision of how they see you.
I think they picture me on a laptop like 80 hours a week, which I was in the beginning, 100%. But I have staff.
Yeah, like, I see what you're saying.
I have like head of operations. I have like a legitimate, I have W-2 employees.
Right.
I am not out here. Like, I plan all of my boyfriend's flights, all of everything that he does, all of our packing, everything that he's bringing on any of our trips. Like, all he does is pay.
I see what you're
saying. When you saw November and you saw like the crazy videos, like, I have a travel girl, like I have a travel coordinator.
I see what you're saying.
So she knows my vision and the things that I want, and she's a girl, so she knows okay, we're gonna do this, and gives him the bill. Like, gotcha. So everything that you got, like, see, like, yes, okay, like he bought me all of this stuff, but like, the trips and stuff, like we understand that we can bring somebody else in to help us, and we can still like do all things. Like, he doesn't have to plan any of that. All he has to do is cut the check. Everything else is done for him, literally.
So with your businesses, what's it been like building processes? Because if you have this free time, you have e-commerce business, education business, obviously you've had to have possible like, processes, VA, something. Or do you feel like you're good at building those processes to give you that time freedom?
Now, yeah, there was a lot. I probably lost around $2-3 million in hiring and firing and suing people.
For real?
Bad business. Like, it's just what it is. Bad business. Being too trusting again. I think that's a cultural thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what else? It's not a cultural thing?
What?
Being sued. So people don't think you'll take it there. And one of the biggest things is I had to really decide, like, I'm gonna let people stop playing with me.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So now, 100%. And I don't have any issues. I don't have any blowback because I'm so crystal clear of like, this is what you do. This is what you're signed up to do. If you're not going to abide by it, you will be fired. If you steal, I will sue you. Like,
Got you. Yeah, that's good. And I think from looking at you too, like even before like we met, from me being in business, being in e-commerce, because see, here's the thing with e-commerce. The thing with e-commerce is you have thousands of micro customers buying a low ticket item. So of course it's like systems break with scale. So when I saw any publicity about you, I didn't really think that it was you. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by it is a lot of things that happen is it's just as you scale up the infrastructure breaking and you having to build new infrastructures around it. And then when you're at a high level, the customers kind of gang up and then all this commotion starts talking.
I wish that was the issue with me. I was over prepared. My systems kind of broke before we kind of got at scale, and probably like 3 months straight, like I had to come out of pocket for payroll type situation, and then like it blew.
Got you.
And we were prepared. Like, so it was like, now I'm over prepared. Now it's like, bring it on. Like,
all the time.
Yeah, it's straight.
So since you're at that level, just with experience, what was like probably like just the worst situation of business that you've experienced?
My eviction for one.
But that was personal.
It was.
Yeah. Like just being in business, you're like, yo, we're in a season right now.
That was just like bad.
Yeah, where you're just like, we got to change our situation, because there's a time in business where you're like, yo, everything is flowing. It's nice right now.
No.
It's never been off.
December was off, in my opinion, because of the recession talks.
I see what you're saying.
And I pivoted.
Got you.
I pivoted. But again, with e-commerce and selling online, even in the digital space, you just pivot your verbiage.
Got you.
And it sells.
And
that's the problem. Like, it's just a matter of verbiage. And one of the biggest things that nobody can take away from me is I'm so intentional. Like, regardless if I'm making sales, I get up every day and do the same thing.
Got you.
Because I feel like eventually it'll just come back around. And it did. Like, got you. Literally, January went right back to normal.
Nice. But
December was just so
it was
weird.
It was different than the others. And then a lot of times, a lot of what was going on too, people were used to entrepreneurs that came up during the free money period. Thought that was going to stay. Right. You know what I mean? So then the next season, they're like, oh, we're doing the exact same thing as last year. And it's like, it's a different thing. And not even that.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of the free money people spend that money now. We're seeing a lot of people like buy new cars and Rolexes. Yep. Where that for me was like 2019.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where people were using the cars and the stuff. So like, I do feel like that stuff is very looked down upon now. Where in 2018, 2019, you could post a car and people would congratulate you and like buy your stuff and you could use it for ads, where now I feel like people are like, wow, be humble. Yeah. Or like people are dying. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You can't even boast the way that you can't, like, in marketing, you can't, like, and I salute to all the people that, post their accomplishments. But unfortunately, people don't know how they're going to pay their bills. Right. So they don't want to see that. Like, they don't. And quite honestly, I feel them. Like,
and since you've been in it for a minute, how do you feel about the people in ecom that are just like, because the thing with ecom is like high revenue, crazy high expenses, but they're always showing Shopify screenshots and the flexes.
Man, you don't know if that shit clears. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You don't even know if that shit hitting their bank account. You don't know what their chargebacks are. You don't know what they spent to make it. So like, I never look at that like, oh, they're just on top of it. Right. If they do have high revenue, the first question is like, yo, like, what's the spin?
Yeah, what's the spin?
You know what I mean?
I need all the numbers.
You know what I mean? Because if you spent $800 to make a M.
I see. It's like you could have done $300,000 worth of work with $100,000 expenses.
You feel me? Like it's not worth it. And then like another thing, if I can see that they have a high expensive lifestyle, like their overhead mad high, I'm like, oh, they stressed.
I see what you're saying.
Because think about it, if you have a high overhead, like for the whole 2022, I spent $20,000 a month in attorney fees. Whole 2020, and I traveled the whole 2022. Dang. And looking back, I have no idea how I maintained that. Yeah. Because if you had to ask me, like, hey, like, you want to move here for $5,000 a month, I'd be like, no, I can't afford that.
Right. I see what you said.
I'm like committing to $5,000 a month. But whenever I've been put and forced to spend that type of money, I've been able to. Like, and nothing changed. Like, if you look at my 2022, I've traveled more than ever and stayed in the best of the best. Nothing changed. But like, looking back, I'm still upset because I'm like, damn, that was like $300,000 that should have been in the bank right now.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I never like, I don't know. Like when I see like, oh, they made $1 million a month. And then I see like, oh, you have 8 cars and
you're just paying all these expenses.
I'm like, wow, you have a lot of bills. I would hate to be you.
Exactly.
Because I don't want any bills.
Like, I feel you.
At all. I'm actually trying to transfer titles to my dad so I don't have to pay car insurance.
Wow.
I know.
Like a Barbie.
Yes. Because I've been doing the car insurance for 6 years. I think I'm timed.
You're done?
Well, I got a reckless driving situation. I was going like 120 and 80.
Why?
So, because I am speed.
No,
like
that's
Lightning
not safe.
McQueen. You've never seen Lightning McQueen? Like speed. Yeah. Like
that's
I'm speed.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
But I didn't, and that's exactly what I said when he pulled me over. Plus, I told him that I was having a bad day.
Got you.
Because my dad told me I should have went to jail. But I didn't.
I see what you're saying.
Because I'm a Barbie. But yeah, like, like just things like that. Like my car insurance jumped to like $1,100 a month. Like
$1,100 with who?
Geico. For 3 cars.
You got 3 cars?
Mm-hmm, unfortunately.
What's your favorite one?
None of them.
None of them?
I wish I could get rid of all of them and ride a bicycle.
I see what you're saying.
The car insurance. I'm in the drive programs with the thing in the car. I'm in that. That's how bad it is right now. That's $1,100 with the tracker.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
I see what you're saying.
Because it wasn't my first incident of speeding, so it was like my 4th. So I'm done. Like,
got you.
I'm done. I get out of insurance jail in June of 2024,
and then it drops back down.
Yeah. So when so July 2024. You can expect the Rolls Royce. You can expect all of.
Oh, so that's when we're gonna see the IG going crazy.
Yes, you can see it going crazy. If you see it anytime before then, that is definitely on my daddy's name.
Okay.
I may have paid the check, but no, because I don't believe in like those crazy expensives. Like if I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. Like you know what I mean? Like there's no flex in paying Geico.
Got you.
Like
I see what you're saying.
You feel me? Like, and it was self-inflicted.
Yeah. So with this wealthy college kid going on e-commerce education, I feel like you're in all of these spaces. What would you say now that you're in digital as well? How do you feel about like product and service-based business? Because you got products with the kids' clothes, you've done service-based business, and then you I like digital.
So service-based business. The problem with service-based businesses is the money is so addictive. Like it's like drugs. But the people are horrible. You could wake up any day and go viral because somebody called you XYZ, like said you did this to them or you were unprofessional. You're running that risk. And 2, like people have crazy entitlement to work hours. Like I have to constantly be like, today is Saturday. Do you know what that means?
I'm chilling.
I'm like, please. Or my favorite is like, could you read me off the business hours from above? Yeah. And they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, no, like, because social media makes people think that they could write me at any fucking time just because I posted. Right. I don't care that I posted breakfast. That has nothing to do with you. Exactly. Like, write the business page. Like, right. I always tell people I'm not an influencer. I'm a public figure. I run ads to my brand. You don't see the owner of Fashion Over running ads to his page. Right. You see influencers run ads to their personal page. And no shade to anybody that does. I want to make sure I say that. But I just feel like I'm a public figure. And I have brands that have work hours and they are closed. Right. So, the ads that you see and the messages, you write them. Right. This is Christianna Hurt's page and she wants breakfast. Got you. So, yeah. So I want to hear about some of the new things that you're doing. People who are watching, fans of you. Like, let's talk about this vitamin. My vitamin. Yes. So it's white label, of course, because we don't want any issues with FDA or gluten. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, cruelty-free, the whole 9. And it's going to have less than 2 grams of sugar. So I'm testing out around 8 samples. So we're looking to do just a gummy multivitamin for children between the ages of 4 and 12. And then we're going to actually do drops that will be tasteless that change colors in water. Got you. Like, where did this idea come from? Like, what was the day that you were like, vitamins. Okay. And then I don't know. I notice I buy them every month. Got you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really into products that run out. You know what I mean? So, like, if I drink all this water, I have to go get more water. Right. So, like, clothes, yes, you grow out of them, but you wash them and you wear them. Over and over. Bro, I can't. My LTV is dirt. Got you. So you're looking at it from a business sense, the recurring, the subscription, all that type of revenue. And there's an open market. Do you see anything on Instagram right now, Black owned in the vitamin space? No. Who do you see?
Well, I see like elderberry and all that stuff.
But you
like,
see majority sea moss. If you see sea moss, elderberry, but for the supplement community, it's mostly Caucasian.
Yes.
And they're making a lot of money if you notice.
I mean, it is smart to go to something that could be on a subscription base. You know what I'm saying?
And what else? Commercialized. Because there's things with purchase orders. These black 15% pledge. Make sure that 15% of businesses are black owned in major retailers like Target, Nordstrom's, and all of that. Now, yes, they're buying it from a wholesale space. So let's say I'm getting the vitamins for $4. They may only be buying it for $4.50, but they're buying hundreds of thousands. And my vitamins are going into hundreds of stores all over the country. What do I care if I only made 50 cents on a bottle? Right. I can walk into Target because Christianna Hurt is still a personal brand.
Gotcha.
And I can stand next to the aisle and say, look, I have vitamins.
Yeah.
And people will then still buy into whatever the hell else I do.
Got you. Do you see yourself like the way you say Christianna Hurt? Do you see yourself like growing into like this big woman CEO, like a Sarah Blakely or anything? Like how do you see yourself?
Baking cookies
At home and just running the businesses faceless?
I don't know my face is on. I think my content will just change to mom content. Yeah. To be honest with you, it'll just be wife and mom content.
Gotcha. So that's definitely the dream you're looking for.
Yeah. Right, like there. It's not like the content. I'm still gonna make videos and TikToks and stuff like that. The same dumb stuff I do right now. But the demographic will change. You know what I mean? Like, and as I grow, my demographic grows with me. Everybody has to remember that. Majority of my demographic is 24 and up, and it's women. Women eventually get married, have boyfriends, or have kids. Yes. So the content and the audience will remain the same. I try to stray away from men. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But women, you know, they're always going to relate to me. They're always going to, you know, grow with me. We're a family.
Right. We're a family.
We're friends. We're besties.
Where are you seeing yourself having more fun at, on Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
TikTok. Are you doing better on there? Do you feel like that's like where you're...
No, both are doing really, really well.
Okay.
But I make entertaining content. So.
Yeah, true. What's your content process? Like when you wake up, do you already have it pre-scheduled or is it just free flow?
So, and it's crazy because so many people watch my videos like, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Like the Bing Bong video where it's like, Bing Bong, you did it. Like, I just try to like take trauma or like, I don't know, like I just take my real feelings and I try to put them out so that people can visualize them. Yeah. Like you really can actually capture that with some of my videos. Like even just like the before and afters where it says social media entrepreneurship versus real life entrepreneurship. And I looked like shit on the first slide. You know what I mean? Like it's real life because that's what most majority of people look like behind those computers.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So just pulling out my emotions and being able to orchestrate that correctly.
I see what you're saying. And I know how you're like, I'm a Barbie, all this type of stuff. Yeah. What I'm seeing as well, though, is like you're kind of like playing it down where it's like, I want to bake cookies, I want to do that. But I think you're a very good creative. And the reason why I say that is because from the short time that I've known you, you told me about all these ideas, right? So there's an execution process that you possess, and I think that's something that you do well. Would you say it is? Because it's like you're coming up with these ideas.
I just do think. You know what's crazy? When in 2019, I went to Thrive. Remember Thrive?
What was Thrive?
It was like Thrive was like I can't remember the guy that puts it on. But he's a real estate guy, but he's cool with Dan Fleshman. You know Dan Fleshman?
Is that a conference though?
Yeah, I think I remember. But do you know who Dan Fleshman is?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really tight with all of those people. Like they all know me very well. And they saw me at my first like six figures right before like that $1 million mark. Yeah. And I got Dan to introduce me to Eric Thomas. Got a picture, gave him a planner, and I was like complaining about how I wasn't getting to $1 million, and I was telling him all my ideas, and he was like, stop. Yeah. He was like, I want you to execute as many ideas as you can, as fast as you can, even if you have to hire people, even if you go broke. So I've just been doing that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Just executing.
Yeah, I just do it.
That's one of the biggest things people lack is the execution.
Yeah, I'm about to do Section 8 housing.
Section 8 housing?
I'm buying a bunch of houses in Ohio for Section 8.
Oh, man. Why Ohio? Is this affordable? More affordable?
The landlord laws, and the guy that I follow who's netting $1 million months, and I haven't seen this man break a sweat. This man was buying Ferraris when I was working at the freaking bar. Like he's been rich that long. He's the only person that I've seen on the internet that has this crazy track record of consistent high level income and spending. Like he just bought a boat and he's spending like $40,000 a month on the boat. Like, and it's not even his first boat. You know what I mean? Like, and he's 34. I need a Section 8. So I paid the $5,000 and I'm learning a lot. So I was like, you know what? I got the bank statements. I got the credit. Let's do a portfolio loan. Fuck it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
So let's break down for people who don't know. You're going to educate me. How does a portfolio loan work?
So it means that I'm going to buy like 10 houses instead of one. I'm going to buy like 10. Now, the reason that I don't see any risk in this is because has Uncle Sam ever, in the time that you've been alive, your parents been alive, missed a rent payment?
No, Uncle Sam hasn't.
Uncle Sam never misses a rent payment, even if it's a recession, the Great Depression, famine, government shutdown. What is the common denominator that people have problems with? It's the tenants being bad. But what happened this year? 97% of people are in poverty, meaning your mom of 2 that works as a nurse with a 630 credit score and no criminal background is now on Section 8.
Gotcha.
Your mom and dad that, maybe one works at the bank, one is a plumber, are now on Section 8. Your everyday people are now on Section 8, unfortunately.
So it's a lot of good people on Section 8, and it's like you're getting that money all the time, on time.
And they are, they're just good people, you know what I mean? The problem with Section 8 is people get these horrible tenants.
Yeah.
But if the waiting list for Section 8 is 3-4 years long, you're really telling me you can't find the cream of the crop?
Right. I see what you're saying.
I don't think out of thousands of applications, like if you go on the Section 8 website, it's reopening, I think for Florida, like 2025.
Yeah.
Can't even get a voucher.
Dang.
You feel me?
That's
so
crazy.
You really think out of all those people, you can't find a decent human being that's going to take care of your property?
Yeah. What do the banks look for in a portfolio loan?
Track record or good credit and money.
Yeah. And so the track record, do you have to like kind of with somebody that's in real estate already?
I just have money.
Oh, big baller.
Yeah, money, got money in the bank. So, and I got friends. The problem is I really have friends in real estate who will introduce me to their lenders. Like, hey, she's good people. She got the bread. Like, throw her a bone. So, they're throwing me a bone.
Yeah.
Because there's not much risk. And again, they know I'm doing Section 8.
Right. I see what you're saying. And then when she's saying just like all the people, the high percentage now being on poverty, I want to talk about your new software that you're talking about that's going to help people find groceries and all of that. Let's break that down.
I really believe Celsi, it's called Celsi. I really believe Celsi will be my 9-figure exit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something you can sell.
I'm going to hold on to it, but I'm looking, because Honey sold in 4 years to PayPal for $4 billion. A lot of people don't know that. I think they created it in 2012. It sold by 2018. It was pretty quick. And
I did start seeing their logo on the PayPal website.
Yes. Honey became $1 billion company. And, unfortunately, in this space, there's not softwares to help us find cheap food.
Yeah.
And items, just an overall. I mean, there's price.com, which was launched in November, but I didn't like price.com.
So with your software, if I wanted eggs, it would show me where the cheapest.
It would show you where Kroger, Publix, Aldi, Whole Foods, Sprouts, the prices of all the eggs. And then let's say there's a manufacturer coupon, it'll apply it.
Got you. So the only thing, let's just tear down objecting beliefs. So one thing I'm thinking about, what if it's like, okay, my eggs are cheap at Aldi, but then my milk is cheap at Kroger? Am I kind of jumping around to the stores?
Yeah, because it's only showing, it's an aggregator. So it's just showing you where the cheapest option is.
It would be cool if you could like tag in with Instacart and then you could just,
right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's so many opportunities to it and so many, it's just limitless. Yeah. And I have a huge social media following. So like, I definitely feel like I'm going to blow with that. I definitely feel like Celsi, if becoming a wife doesn't happen first, Celsi will retire me.
I see what you're saying.
But either way, I will be retired.
And y'all see what I'm saying? She keeps saying she's going to be at home baking cookies, but she got all these ideas.
I'll just make a cooking channel.
Yeah.
I'll make a cooking YouTube. I don't
cooking
know.
book, all that.
I just be bored. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people just, again, execution. Like if you execute and you're productive, you will finish things a lot faster. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like when I really lock in, like I'm knocking shit out in a couple hours.
I feel you. And I love funnels and I build funnels. You just figured out. What did you do? Or I know you made money, but like what were your funnels that got you your first ClickFunnels awards?
My eBay funnel. Actually.
Your eBay funnel.
My eBay funnel.
We haven't even talked about the eBay, the automation.
I got two ClickFunnels awards actually. So I got one for eBay at 40. I made $1 million off $47. Isn't that scary?
Dang. Was it an ebook?
No, it was a class.
Okay, $47 class just on how to kill it on eBay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
When you really look at it, people are like, "Oh, low ticket." I'm like, I'm doing great on low ticket.
Yeah. Were you running a bunch of ads to it? Just straight organic off your IG
and Facebook.
Dang.
Right? Kind of scary.
You know, is this teaching people how to like find drop shipping products and sell, or products from their home?
Both.
Both.
Just selling online. And then the second one, the one that I walked with, was for my product selection services, basically the automation. And I did $1 million in 6 months.
Dang. Is automation difficult though?
100%.
100%. Is that worse than like product and service based? It seems like it is, because it's like you're taking on somebody.
The thing with automation is, number one, Amazon shifted.
Yeah.
Drop shipping is illegal.
Yeah.
So like all the automation companies just went down. We just went down. If you didn't have like A1 customer service of like basically holding every single client's hand and getting on the phone and like helping them through this tough time of suspension.
Yeah.
They was not fucking with you. But grateful enough, I have great CMOs and great people. Like, we only had, out of 287 people, only 4 were like, no, not having it with me. They were just not having it with me, like writing bad reviews. Like, I even offered them money. I even offered them a refund if they just shut up for 18 months. I would give them money, and they were like, no.
And why 18? Because you feel like you'll be back by then? Or
no, because I was just being petty.
Yeah, I see.
Because you're not going to bully me into, like, I will never be bullied into a refund. I will refund you on my time. Yeah, but I will give it to you.
Right.
But yeah, they were like, no. And I'm like, all right, now that I've offered you a refund, you can never sue me.
Right.
Like, now it's over. Like, I offered you, you know what I mean? And that's really now going through, I've taken criminal stuff to trial. I've done civil. Like, I really know my legal proceedings.
Yeah.
So like, once I offer you that legal refund with an attorney and you decline it, you cannot file a civil suit and think that you're going to go anywhere. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Because the solution was already offered.
Gotcha.
Like, what are you going to say at deposition? Like, were you offered a refund? Yes. Did you decline? Yes. Now where are we going? Nowhere. Dismiss. You're out. Like, you just wasted everybody's time and money.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So it's just really important that we communicated with every single customer that, hey, the model just changed. We are changing with it, and we are going to switch everything up for you. And now we I have obviously a warehouse in Orlando and one in Tampa. We do the 3PL. 3PL we have not had a single suspension in 7 months. We let everybody obviously make money first before we start invoicing, because we take a 60% net split. My Walmarts haven't had any suspensions. The only one left that I'm cleaning up, honestly, in 2023 is eBay.
So you do automations for which sales channels? Walmart,
Amazon, and eBay.
Okay.
Now, eBay is just a little bit more tricky just because they just, again, changed their APIs again.
Yeah.
So it's been easy to teach people how to do it, but to take it to like a staff level, it's been a little bit more difficult. But I just had to get back in the trenches and just teach them. Retrain staff on the way that I'm doing it in real time. And I think in the next 60 days, everybody will be fine.
Got you. 3PL being a key word. I've noticed people who are in automation start buying their own warehouses, doing their own shipping.
I've had it. That's the crazy part.
They've been a 3PL.
Yeah. I've been with 3PL.
So as long as you have someone physically shipping, it doesn't have to be you. The 3PL can work to power an automation company.
100%. But it's got to be in-house or your margins are going to be dirt.
Gotcha.
I got everybody in-house on W-2. I got everything like by the book.
Yeah. Like, where did that idea come from? Because that seems like upfront a lot of work, and you being like, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch that. Like
hiring people or
the automation business.
Name something better than taking a $30,000 payment.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, be real. Like, every time I complain about it, a $30,000 payment hits.
You think about it.
No, a $30,000 payment clears.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, I was just complaining about bread, and then $72,000 hit. I was like, oh, I'm fine.
So when these people are buying, do you have like closers or handling all this?
I have closers. They have customer service Monday through Friday. They have account managers. We have escalation managers. If you're unhappy, you're able to schedule an escalation call and talk to somebody directly. And I hire and fire a lot. eBay is about to get fired, actually, because I'm retraining. Yeah, I see what you're saying. If you don't follow directions, I just fire you and move on.
Like, eBay, if you're watching this, you better.
They just weren't. Like, people were unhappy. And, like, honestly, like, once I see about 4 DMs, I never let it get past 5. Once 4 or 5 people complain to me, I'm like, what are you guys doing over there? Yeah. I'm like, you guys aren't listening. If the account manager co-signs, like, they're not following directions, I'm like, okay. Put everything on vacation mode. Let them know we'll retrain it. We're retraining. We'll fire everybody, and I'll get new people.
Do you do all the training?
For eBay, yes.
Okay.
Because people are just fucking retarded.
Yeah. What about the other ones?
No, I didn't have to.
Got you.
I have a account manager do it.
Okay. So with all these businesses, right, do you have like, because what I'm kind of geeking out about right now is just the systems to run them. Because sometimes that's the hardest part about the business is building the systems, and it just takes time to do that. Did you have like a mentor that like put you on to all this?
Yeah, pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering.
Yeah, trauma.
Got you.
Yeah, that eviction notice.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
My number one teacher.
That just lit that fire under you, didn't it?
It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Nothing is more traumatizing than that. And then it really just showed me like somebody was like really willing to take the knife and put it in my back. And I tell people all the time, like, villain origin story for real. Like, and I just tell people like sometimes you got to pull that knife out your back. Like you really do. And that for me, like, that's just what it was. I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I eventually calmed down, money heals.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because the kid definitely hit me up like 2020 and I still was like, where are you?
Yeah.
He's like, why? And I'm like, I just want to talk.
Yeah.
I just want to talk. Like, but no, like, I just, now, like, I don't care. Like, I'm lit. Like,
yeah, I see what
you know what I mean? I got a man. I got my family. I got bread. Like, I'm lit. I have nothing to complain about. I'm cool.
What's it like dating a rapper?
It's not my first rapper date.
It's not your. It's
not my first.
Okay.
I had an ex high school on again, off again. That we dated all through high school and then on again, off again. That blew to be a rapper, and then now I'm dating this rapper. Two completely different genres, though. Isn't that crazy?
Okay.
So I'm with a drill rapper, and before I was like with a rock star. I was with like a rock star.
Okay.
It's pretty chill. I don't know. I'm so confident. I really feel like I'm just like the best thing on
Is it
earth.
fun like going to shows and all that stuff? Or no?
I kind of grew out of that.
I see.
They don't ever have food. You don't get home till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's cold.
I see. You just want to bake cookies.
Yeah, I just want to bake cookies. Like tour life isn't like, and going, like it was cool. Like Rolling Loud. I really did like going to Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
I liked going to like seeing big shows. Like that was really cool for me. But like after you did it, it's kind of like, when are we going home?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it doesn't stop. Like
a
lot of people don't realize that. Like if there's a club hosting on Friday, it's probably Saturday, Sunday too. So like it just got like, I'm like, yo, I need to sleep. Like
right. Dope. So we've covered so much. Do you feel like there's anything that we left out that people who are fans of you that like look at Christianna and they're like, oh, it's Christianna, that you just think they should like know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like we're coming for 8 figures.
Yeah.
And cool. And like I'm going to Finland next week.
Okay. What's in Finland?
I don't know.
Just chilling.
Snow.
I see what you're saying. Do you offer mentorship to people?
No.
You
don't know why?
Why?
Because people want my income with their work ethic.
Got you.
And you don't have, if you were even half of me, you wouldn't need mentorship.
I see what you're saying.
So I don't do it. I don't believe in mentorship. I don't think that anybody needs a mentor. I go live 5 days.
But you paid $5,000 to somebody for a mentor.
I paid for access to his lenders.
Got you.
He said, I have lenders that don't need tax returns. I have property managers in here. I paid for connects.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't need
You paid to play.
I didn't need to talk to him. I need to talk to the things he has, because I'm not going to go hire and fire a property manager. That's mad money. Like, you don't want to play with housing. So I just like skipped that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It's like taking the expressway on the highway,
I see what you're saying. So in this whole new world, digital world of mentorship and everything, you just kind of, how do you feel about it? It's just,
what are you paying for? Like really ask yourself, like, what are you paying for when you pay for a mentor?
Yeah. I guess I would say direction, talk.
But if you don't know what to ask, how is that going to help you? People don't know what to ask people.
Yeah,
if you knew, you would type it in Google.
Or Chat GPT.
Seriously, though, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would type it into Google. You would go to YouTube University. The problem is a lot of people don't know what their purpose is. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. Like, to be real with you, like, if you, like, when people ask me, like, what do you do? I sell shit online.
That's what you do.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's your purpose? I sell things on the internet. That's what I do. That's what we're sticking with. That's my focus. A lot of people don't know what their focus is, what their purpose is, or what they're doing to, make their impact. You know what I mean? We're all born with a name, but a lot of people you Google, they don't pop up.
Yeah.
You can Google me. You feel me? So I don't know.
Hey, you can't Google it though. She is gonna pop up.
You feel me?
Where can people like tap in with you though? Like
Google.
Google.
Google. You can find me anywhere. My name is Christianna Hurt, or you can just type in wealthy college kid. Make sure you guys, if you have a child under 5, make sure you tune in for Just Kidding Kids, because we are going to be shifting to a vitamin. If you haven't already gotten our last clothing drop, we are doing a Rainbow Baby April campaign for my 5-year anniversary of my miscarriage. So we're doing a big rainbow campaign. So.
Got you. I do have a question about that before we leave too.
Yeah.
With your story, is your story the front leading part of that? And what I mean by that, do a lot of the community like tap in, like, Christianna, like your story, like we love you, we're here for you.
Just
like,
Kidding Kids?
Yes.
No. They tap in because they want a community of moms that want to put their child in a better position.
Got you.
And expose their child to social media. So they just are looking for a place like, where can I pop up my kid and my child be safe?
I see what you're saying.
So knowing that I'm a young woman, obviously, and that I have had a pregnancy kind of resonates, and it'll only get better.
I see what you're saying.
What I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, y'all heard it from Christianna Hurt. Make sure y'all tap in with her, like, share, subscribe, and just, follow my girl. Holla at y'all on the next episode. Peace.